pockets, even when they're empty. They see the hustle, but they never see the heart. Let's change the narrative. Listen. Yeah. Heart heavy as a mountain, pockets light as a feather. Trying to keep it all afloat in the stormy weather. They say love is the answer, but love don't pay the rent. When the landlord's at the door and every cent is spent, respect, that's a ghost, a dream just out of reach. A lesson that the concrete and the struggle had to teach. Invisible woman, walking through the crowd, struggling in silence while the world stays loud. Early lessons learned where the pavement is cold, where results are the only currency that's bought and sold. I'm looking in the mirror, seeing someone new. I'm pushing through the darkness just to find the truth. The world might not see me, but I'm standing tall. Yeah, I'm standing through it all. The bills pile high, reaching for the sun, reaching for the sun. While love and respect still on the run, still on the run. Yeah, the road is long and the climb is steep, but holding our ground, got promises to keep. One day the world's gonna know the name. Until then, I'm just a woman inside the flame. Stack of papers on the counter, ink turning red. Thoughts of a better life spinning in my head, but I keep pushing with that fire in my eyes. I see the finish line, I'm gonna claim the prize. Conquering the mountain, rising from the dirt, turning every scar into worth, burying the hurt. The falls don't define me, it's the way I stand up. Emptying the sorrow just to fill a golden cup. I won't back down, nah, I won't retreat. I'm making history right here on these streets. Sometimes it feels like the clock is standing still, fighting for the spirit and fighting for the will. They don't see the tears, they only see the grind, leaving all the shadows and the ghosts behind. I'm looking in the mirror, seeing someone new. I'm pushing through the darkness just to find the truth. The world might not see me, but I'm standing tall. Yeah, I'm standing through it all. The bills pile high, reaching for the sun, reaching for the sun. While love and respect still on the run, still on the run. Yeah, the road is long and the climb is steep, but holding our ground, got promises to keep. One day the world's gonna know the name. Until then, I'm just a woman inside the flame. Invisible no more, let the light break through. Every struggle was a seed for the life I'm coming to. I'm a queen in the making, watch the crown ignite. From the bottom of the valley to the peak of the light. The journey is renowned, they'll tell the story well. How I found a piece of heaven in the middle of this hell. Respect is the trophy and victory is the state. Changing the script, we don't believe in fate. The ledger used to balance on a razor thin wire. Now I'm taking all the stress and fueling up the fire. No more walking silent with my eyes on the floor. I'm kicking off the hinges of that opportunity door. They used to overlook me, calculate my worth, but I'm reclaiming every single acre of this earth. From the empty pockets to a mind full of wealth. I didn't need a savior, I did it for myself. I'm rising, I'm shining, shining. The wait is over, the world is mine. I'm stepping out and it's my time. Yeah, it's my time. Invisible, incest is gonna shine so bright. When everything is right, love is gonna find its way. Renowned in the struggle, yeah, we see you. Victory's coming, right is for life, and that's on everything. North Philly, baby. Riders for life. HP, baby. Yeah, look, I'm watching a shift, the air getting heavy. Listen, I peep the atmosphere, subtle change in the breeze. Their presence lingers long, bringing me to my knees. Like chameleons in the garden, they're hiding in the light, draining all my energy while they're cloaked in the night. They show a genuine smile, yeah, they act like they care. But a toxic light is burning underneath the glare. Envy lurks in the shadows of a crafted disguise, leading the to a spiritual demise. It's a calculated game, and they play it with ease. A web of deceit that'll bring you to your knees. It's tough to walk away when the envy consumes, leaving us rough in these empty rooms. Invisible poison, spirit feeling cold, trying to break free from the lies they told. Is it real? Or just a carefully crafted mask? I'm searching for the truth, but it's a heavy task. I feel the temperature dropping, my spirit is catching a chill, while they're feeding on my energy just to get they feel. I'm walking through the fog, trying to find my way beyond the silent poison that they're spreading today. Yeah, I'm rising up, I'm breaking through the haze, leaving all the shadows in their toxic ways. Harder to spot them when they blend in the crowd, acting like supporters, talking real loud, but the game is draining, it's emotionally deep, leaving us numb while the snakes start to creep. It's hard to break the old, hard to find a way out when the poison is silent and it's filled with doubt. But I'm seeing the source, I'm pinpointing the pain. I'm done with the cycle, I'm done with the drain now. Now step back, look, I'm cutting the cord and I'm shutting them down. You thought you could strip away all of my power and damage the crown. I gave you a seat at the table, I shared all the food on my plate, but you were just out here drawing, choking on venom and nursing your hate. I see every angle, I know how you move when you step on the block. The jealousy talking, the whispers, I got it locked down like a lock. You wanted to shine, but you couldn't endure what it took to survive. So keep away from my circle, cause only the real ones are gonna thrive. Man, get the hell up my face with the faking. You ninjas are drawn, you try to trap a whole giant and think I just stay in the pond. I'm standing built concrete and nothing but dust in the wind. The final mistake that you made was assuming that I'm gonna bend. You're drowning in bitterness, watching me elevate straight to the top. I'm running the lane that I built, and there ain't a whole soul that can stop. So say all your speeches, that old head energy's dead. I'm standing completely unbothered, millions of steps ahead. You thought you were slick with the plot, but look how the tables have turned. Every bridge that you tried to sneak under is officially broken and burned. I am the force on these streets, you cannot compete with the drive. While you out here moving like parasites, I am the one who survives. No weapon you drop can never come near me. I'm locked in, I'm holding the crown. I am standing straight up like a mountain, you never will drag me back down. So watch the whole skyline reopen, watch how I power right through the black gold, the truth and the power. There ain't no duplicating what I do. Spirit call, yeah. Keep your circle tight. Riders for life. And that's on everything North Philly, baby. HP in the house. We out.
Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. Continue to have a blessed and humble morning. Let's talk about it, man. Let me welcome everybody to the Writers for Life Brings It All podcast, all right? Let me give a big shout out to everybody that's down there in the chat. We got Blank Residents. I appreciate the comment. Thank you, thank you. I mean, listen, the whole point of putting these lyrics out here, this music out here, is to inspire and motivate people. So I appreciate the comment. Hassan Tayer, blessings, King. How you doing this morning? And we got Caveman. Welcome to Philly, baby. We out here just, I don't know. I guess we all craving pizza tonight, man. I ain't gonna sit here and lie, man. Like shit. I was shocked when I found out Wawa had pizza, yo. I ain't listen, man. Hopefully it's good though, man. I got my little drum from fucking oh my god, I forgot what pizzeria we went to. Pizza Point in Philly. I mean, I love Pizza Point pizzas, yo. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. But I'm hoping all of y'all has had a blessed and humble morning. Continue to have a blessed and humble day. 1 second while I get this situated. All right, 1 second, 1 second. I'm trying to get everything situated. All right, y'all. So let's dive straight into this rabbit hole today. All right, because this D4VD case, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. All right, it's not just messy, but it's disturbing messy. Like, I'm hoping that y'all can hear me. Let me make sure with my phone. All right. So it's like the type of story that makes you, sit back like, how the hell is this man still walking around free? Y'all know what's crazy? Hold on. This story right here, I was talking to my fiance earlier, and it kind of like him talking to me, and I was explaining to him the D4VD case and everything, right? He was telling me that the story that I'm telling him with the D4VD case, it reminds him of the movie Taken. I don't know if y'all remember that movie of the CIA, right? He made it his mission to find these kids that went missing. And in this movie, this little girl, right? She was being hard headed. She wanted to go to this place to this tour where these celebrities, I guess one of her celebrities, favorite celebrities, was going to go on. Oh, no, it wasn't a tour. It was something about ballet. My bad, my bad. It was like a ballet tour or some shit like that. I forgot what it was. I can't really remember, but I remember we watched the movie together, right? And she had asked her dad, but her dad said no, right? And she still went anyways. And when she made it, out of the country, when they took her out the country and everything, was when she was able to reach out to her dad, and her dad went kind of crazy looking for her and stuff like that. The CIA agent, right? He went out his way to help this man find his daughter. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. The story was crazy as shit, but it is kind of similar. Not the same, but similar. As crazy as it sounds, right? Reason why he brought up that movie was when you really look at it, right? We got kids nowadays, right? That rebel, that are shout outs, those that just don't care. All right, we got those that listen, those that do what they gotta do, respectful. Right? I mean, could we blame the parents? I don't think everything is blamed on the parents on this situation. If y'all heard me talk about the D4VD case, I feel a little different. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. All right, I feel like something's off with the parents. Um, I agree with a lot of the content creators. Where the hell was these parents the whole time? We know that kids, right, get out of control. But what happened along the line, whereas these parents lost control of their 13-year-old to the point where they couldn't handle, according to them, they lost control of their daughter, right? But there's, I don't know. It's like I don't want to believe in the he say she say, but the way everything's pointing out, I feel as though they know. Like, D4VD's mom know. But anyways, right? This is the type of case that makes you sit back like, yo, how the hell is this man still walking around free with all the evidence floating around? All right? Like all this evidence that's flown around like confetti, at a parade. You think that he'd be behind bars, right? Locked up, trial done, sentence stamped, case closed, but nope. Somehow we're still watching, him strolling to court like he's, how can I say, auditioning for a Netflix documentary. And I'm sitting here like, yo, what universe are we living in? All right. What universe are we living in where crimes against children get treated like parking violations? I mean, listen, I could be wrong. I could be tripping on what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. Like, my question to a lot of people is, why do y'all think cases involving kids always get dragged? They get dragged out instead of, handled immediately. So I don't think anybody's going to answer that, John. I looked at the phone, looked at the TV. But, anyways, I want to take a minute, right, and talk about the people who knew when it came to this situation. All right, and I feel as though like, damn, it's crazy how everybody that knew is quiet as shit now because the silence in this situation is louder than the damn allegations. Like, folks sat here, watched things unfold. All right, watched red flags turn into red carpets and didn't say a damn thing. Just stood there like background. Like, as crazy as it is, these motherfuckers really stood there. All right, like background characters in a horror movie. I'm sorry, but if you know a child is being harmed, right, and you stay silent, you're not innocent. You're part of the problem. You're basically holding the door open. All right, you're basically holding the door open for the monsters. Like, I could be wrong in this situation, but I don't think I am.
The judge today means this will go on for a fifth day on Monday. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez has been covering this all week. Joins us from the courthouse with the update. Christina.
This was a very difficult day. Celeste's family actually had to be removed from court. Let's go to the video. I mean, this is the same family that sat through graphic pictures of her body parts in the back of the Tesla. But today, it was the detectives' descriptions of very, very sexually graphic photographs of David Burke and Celeste Rivas Hernandez that just tipped us over the edge. And then the text messages. They were showing text messages exchanges between the two of them. They're so graphic, I can't even quote from any of them. Beyond sex, they talk about seemingly her having her first abortion at 13 years of age. They talk about how they're trying supposedly to get away from police. It goes on and you start seeing how the relationship begins to fall apart as it moves on. This after a full morning of really graphic autopsy photos that were even disturbing to former detectives who sat in on this trial getting the public lottery tickets. Listen to this.
This must have been a long, torturous ordeal for Celeste. And that's something.
A former LAPD detective reacts to graphic autopsy images of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. They were shown on the fourth day of the preliminary hearing being held in downtown LA to determine if singer David Burke should stand trial for the 14-year-old girl's murder. Burke, who has pled not guilty to murder with special circumstances, briefly reacting for the first time since the proceedings began.
His reaction has been almost non-existent.
Until the full body picture came up the first time. Then he seemed to look down for a second.
Yeah, he looked down and he, something that he didn't want to see the full body. I think is because he wasn't expecting the full body.
LA County Deputy Medical Examiner Grant Ho saying that Celeste most likely died within minutes after two penetrating injuries with a sharp object damaged her liver and left lung. No murder weapon has been recovered. Neither has the saw that prosecutors claim was used to dismember her body, which was found in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to David Burke. Prosecutors alleging the singer maintained a sexual relationship with the underage Celeste and supposedly killed her after she threatened to go public with their relationship.
This is not just a movie we're watching on the news or on the theater. This is a real life experience that a beautiful young teenager went through, and now she's silenced. But you know what? She's speaking to us through all these injuries.
Now, David has pled guilty to all the charges. We are going to come back on Monday. I do think this will be over on Monday.
If he pled guilty to all the charges, why is this going to trial? When did he plead guilty? Because, I don't think she got her information correct. I might be fucking tripping right now, but I know I'm not tripping. I've been really researching this case, and I've been waiting. Like, listen, we might do a part 2 to this, come back live later on, and do the part 2 and do the autopsy papers, but I wanted to show y'all these videos, all right? So listen, if you're watching, stay, pay attention because, when we go into, down the rabbit hole, she's got the autopsy. And I think she has a lawyer with her reading the autopsy papers. All right. So that's the video that I really want to get into. We might do it tonight. We might end up doing a part 2. So I want y'all to really pay attention. Like she said, he pled guilty. If he pled guilty, he'd be behind bars right now. Not standing trial, but let's continue.
And we all seem to agree that there is enough evidence that the judge will decide that this will go to trial. But remember, once it goes to trial, if it gets that far, the burden of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt. It's much more difficult. So we'll have to see what happens. We'll be here Monday, and we'll let you know. In downtown Los Angeles, I'm Christina Gonzalez. Back to you guys in the studio.
So as you said today, a more gruesome day of testimony there in court. Christina, we know her family has been there from the start. They wanted to be kind of a voice for her by being there. What about today, hearing that kind of evidence and seeing those kind of photos?
Like I said, this is a family that sat through really graphic photos of her body parts. They sat through that. And suddenly today, she began to cry as they were describing these. And I can't even underline enough the word graphic sexually. This is not XXX rated. This is beyond that. And you know, they went from being in love and taking pictures every minute of everything they did to suddenly not starting to argue, and you start to see that. But then the talks about the abortion, the talks about, you know, they had to leave. And, you know, even the attorneys, we all walked outside and we all looked at each other and nobody wanted to comment because we're just exhausted from seeing it and hearing it. It's just, she's 13 years old.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Yeah, you know, and I'll tell you really quickly one thing. The one thing we all talked about is, what if they hadn't had cell phones? Because everything revolves around the cell phones. Meeting, the texts, the planning to run away, the pictures. You wonder if cell phones, and I'm not one to say cell phones are bad or good or kids shouldn't have them, but
Hey, let me just say something, all right? Listen, cell phones, okay, they need it. We need to make emergency calls and all that, but listen, I just recently gave my daughter a phone, 9 years old, right? She's listen, and it's like she was full of herself. So when I took that John away, right? I took it back away. I don't care. All right. I noticed the change back. I started getting my daughter back. She started enjoying her program, enjoying art. It was like when she was on that phone, just talking to her friend, all right, playing the little Roblox game, because they had a little private game on the Roblox in the Minecraft and all that. So they would play this John, and I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, wait a minute. Even though she's not chatting with other people, right, and you know, she's not a bad kid, but it's like she's starting to become hard headed. You see where I'm coming from? Not listening, all right, not doing what she had to do. Boom, took that John away, and she's doing everything she's supposed to do. Phones in the hands of children, I don't think is a good idea. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. As a little girl, I didn't really have a phone. I didn't have a phone until I was a teenager. I had my first job, and I was able to get me my little, you know, Boost mobile phone. We had the chirps. I was like, what, 13, 14 years old? I had my first chirp in my hand. For real, for real. And it's no different with my kids. Like, I messed up the first time with my son. Them tablets, them phones, and all that shit. It makes, you know, it changes your kid into something that you're not even raising. I'm not going to sit here and lie. It affects them in a way. Why? I guess I'm not a fucking scientist. I'm not a doctor. I don't have a fucking PhD. I'm just letting you know that as a mother, yes, the phone affects our kids. They should not have these phones. We should be taking them out to the park, watching movies with them, you know, enjoying that childhood that they, you know, need to grow up in. So I feel as though, yeah, these phones are affecting our kids in a big, big way.
when they look at this trial and this case, you're going to have to step back and look at the effects of cell phones on young people.
But
because
Christina,
perhaps we wouldn't be here if they hadn't had them.
yeah, you bring up that point, but I'm also thinking too of how long it took for them to make this arrest and to initiate these charges, even with that kind of evidence that you're talking about there.
Because you have to, because the composition of the body, look, they have all these photos. We know they had sex. We know that, supposedly, we know something was happening there. But they don't have a murder weapon, and they don't have the saw that someone used to cut her body up. So you don't have him directly linked to either of those activities. And again, when you get into a trial with a jury, beyond a reasonable doubt, that's a whole other ballgame. So yes, it took a while. They're still looking for that saw, and they're still looking for that murder weapon. And and they're pleading, if anybody knows anything about this, to please come forward.
All right. Well,
Hold on, wait a minute. So because they couldn't find the murder weapon, right, the saw, they're saying that they can't link him to it. All right, I get that part. But at the end of the day, how about the text messages? Aren't the lawyers trying to flip the scripts on a 13-year-old, try to plead defense for a fucking 21-year-old? Maybe I'm tripping, I'm going crazy, I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong goddamn dimension. But they're saying, oh, she tried to threaten him by saying she was going to mutilate his fucking penis. So the fuck what? She was an emotional 13-year-old that was jealous. I heard the text messages. It doesn't mean sit here and unalive her. He still paid for the Uber that, took her to that house. Then he tried to play it off like, come on, man. He tried to play it off like, hey, where you at? You're not here yet. The Uber is here, but you're not here. Where you, like, what she do? She walked off? You paid for the means for her to get there. Listen, if a little girl, if anybody, whether it was a little girl or a grown woman, threaten you as a man, why would you pay for the means to get that woman that just threatened your life, or that little girl that just threatened your life, and bring her to your house, or you go to her? That right there is not making no sense. Stay away from her. Right? Now, another thing that's got me like, wait a minute, the parents signed off permission slips, right? Kind of like, I would say permission slips, right? For her to be able to go off with D4VD on these trips. So you're telling me this girl was with this guy these long amount of times in hotels and stuff like that, and the parents not once sat here and think like, could there be something going on? You're telling me the parents not once saw them little lives that they were doing on Discord or whatever the hell they was at. I don't know. Something's way off. Something's way off. Then she was already threatening him to expose him to the father. And I don't think it was, I feel like the father already knew you signing off permission. But, he might not have known they were having sex, but I don't think he's stupid. Come on, no parent is stupid. She's 13, 20 years old, by themselves on these private trip planes. Come on, like, common sense. I will never, ever let my daughter go alone and no trip with no man. I don't give a fuck how many people are there. People high out they fucking minds. All right, I have another video that was sent to me.
New evidence suggests that David has a.
All right, and Sloan. All right, I really love Sloan. All right, somebody sent me the video. I think it's the third time I gotta subscribe to him because he's going deep into this, John. This is like the third time that I've the third or fourth time that I've seen him do the D4VD case, and he is killing it. All right, he's really killing it. Even though in his opinion, he don't think that the parents got the parents didn't know anything, but I feel as though the parents know. All right, I mean I get a lot of people's perspectives. I understand. Bless us, we got cutting edge. Shout out, cutting edge. But you're not gonna sit here and tell me, no, man. These parents knew, yo. I'm like, listen, man. I'm hearing a lot of people, right? And it's like a yin. I'm not gonna say yin and yang. It's like a half and half, right? Half the people are saying that the parents knew. Half the people are saying that the parents didn't know. But we're not gonna sit here and play stupid, all right? Come on, man. Y'all signed off permission slips for this little girl to go on tour with this guy, and y'all telling me like y'all wasn't checking phones, nothing. She was 13. At what point did your daughter get out of control, and why didn't y'all try to get some help? They say the police reports are there, but then you got witnesses and people saying that the parents were getting paid off. So this story is wild, and it kind of reminds you of these there's movies out here that they've been putting out there like, man, Amazon is wild, all right? Because Amazon got all the movies. But let's check this video out real quick.
Plan for trial, and he and his lawyers are working together to spread bad press about Celeste Rivas. They want to make it known that she was the one who wanted to see David, and that she was the one who was threatening his career, and that David had no other choice but to get rid of her. But it turns out that his career wasn't the only thing that pushed him towards killing Celeste, because his new girl.
I don't know who the chef guy you're talking about, but no, this guy's name is Sloan. And he's doing real good, with these videos. So shout out to Sloan, all right, because I'm going to use his video as reference today. So let's listen to what he's got to say. He's merged. Listen, he's been talking about this for a minute. All right, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Like I've been really looking to his videos and all that, and it's like I think we did what two reviews and reactions on him before. If we're not mistaken, and I think it was on this D4VD. So shout out to those of y'all that listen be sending me these DMs. All right, I completely forgot about Sloan, but shout out for y'all sending me this video. Like this video right here explains a lot. Even though me and him might have a difference of opinion on, if the parents knew or didn't know.
Girlfriend at the time, Asia Collins, was getting closer and closer of her, but it turns out that his career wasn't, and he and his lawyers are working together to spread bad press about Celeste Rivas. They want to make it known that she was the one who wanted to see David, and that she was the one who was threatening his career, and that David had no other choice but to get rid of her. But it turns out that his career wasn't the only thing that pushed him towards killing Celeste, because his new girlfriend at the time, Asia Collins, was getting closer and closer to David, and Celeste wasn't happy about it. In order for David to make room for his new girlfriend, he felt like he needed to get rid of the old one. So let's get into it.
I don't think it was because he needed to make room for the new girlfriend. Shout out to Kevin Ellis. Welcome to the live. Blessings. But I don't think he was making room for the new girlfriend. I just think that this is just, an uprising predator. All right. He had a phone full of kitty porn, and I feel as though that's what was, one of the first threats that she was threatening him with. I'm going to go to my dad, and I'm going to tell him this, and that. And if she went and told the dad this, and that, and exposed the videos that he had on the phone, and then went and told his mom, I think that would have been a little different. Like, wait a minute, hold up, what's going on? I don't know. Just my opinion. But that the dad didn't know that they was like in some type of relationship, I don't know. Listen, a lot of people do a lot of shit for financial gain. This motherfucker unalived the 13-year-old, all right, just so that his career wouldn't be ruined. That's financial gain. Make it make sense.
Personally, for me, I used to struggle a lot with lying, and lying is the easiest thing to do. It's the easiest sin to commit. Manipulate your thoughts and continue to plant these seeds that, oh, if you do this, it's so much easier. You have no consequences. You will never have to deal with that part. And no matter what the consequences is, you have to kind of separate yourself from the sin.
Wait, no matter what the consequences are, you've got to separate yourself from the sin?
Completely, and kind of accept what you're doing is wrong.
To understand how crazy David is, you must understand his background. And he actually comes from a religious background. His father is a big part of the church. So I don't know if this is his kind of like religious backwards thinking, trying to justify separating the sin from himself and the consequences. It almost seemed like we were watching him in real time convince himself that it was okay that he killed Celeste. This person rates word salad to come off interesting and intelligent. Sociopaths do things like cling to religion to get clout. I don't think that he has any feelings of remorse or guilt. I think he believes in his core that he has done the right things. I do believe that he and his attorneys are trying to position themselves as victims in this situation, that David had a lot to lose with his record deal and all the money that he was making, that if she went to police, he felt like his life was over. So the only reaction that he had was to panic and kill her. I mean,
bullshit. I mean, I'm not saying that he's wrong. What I'm saying is bullshit. It's like, yo, this is why I say the justice system ain't shit, yo, especially when it comes to these topics, all right? These topics are sensitive, and it's wild how you got fucking lawyers out here playing, all right? Like, this shit ain't real. Like, this motherfucker didn't just take her innocence. He took her life. All right, he groomed and played with this little girl.
golly, if we go to trial and he tries to say something like this, I don't know how I'll be able to hold myself. I mean, what? What do you mean, dude? I'm sure everyone in the courtroom is gagged to think that they would try to shift the blame onto a child. I don't care if she said she was going to mutilate your you-know-what. This person writes, David's just telling us how easily he finds it to lie and separating himself from the immortal actions. I don't get why he just didn't hand himself in instead of dropping 1 million breadcrumbs. And that's the point of today's video. I want to go through some of the pieces of evidence that we haven't discussed yet and some of the questions that don't really make sense that I hope will be answered in trial. Remember, we just had the preliminary hearing where the judge got to hear all of the evidence against David, and she decided the 3 charges against him would stick in court. So now we're going to a real trial with a real jury. But our friend Steve, the investigator, who I believe is a witness, shared this on X, and I wanted to read it to you guys. He says, David says his parents are in town and uses that as an excuse for not being able to see Celeste. Because remember, Celeste insisted that she wanted to.
Yeah, he's still locked up for the trial. Like that's what I was saying earlier. He's locked up for the trial, but they're saying that he pled guilty. If he pled guilty, he'd be behind bars already, sentenced. You see where I'm coming from? Not still going through trial. That's why the news reporter earlier, I was like, yo, I think the news reporter got her like information crossed, or I don't know what the fuck happened, but or she was just a little too hyped to take on to the case. But yeah, he is behind bars during the trial. Like, he's not free walking on the streets. But it's like they're being lenient with him. How much more evidence? You see, how much more evidence do you need to lock this motherfucker up? First of all, he's a pedophile. All right? I have to be specific for people to understand. He was 19 years old getting with a 13-year-old. 19 going on 20, some shit like that, whatever. Whatever, he's 21 now. All right. Now, not just that, he met her when she was 11. Still do the math. So he started grooming this little girl through Discord at the age of 11. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. For them to sit here, for the fucking defense attorney to say, oh, well, she threatened him by trying to say that she was going to mutilate his, genitals. Then why the fuck did he still pay for the Uber to get there? That's what he's about to get into. Like, why pay for it? As a man, right? If you get into it, but this is a little girl. Like, listen, that's why I explained it both ways. All right. If you're a teen boy and you're dating a teen girl, or if you was a grown ass man and you dating a woman, let me, break it down and, break it down a little more better than I did earlier. All right. And you hear a girl threaten you and say some dumb shit, stay away from her. That's it. Point blank, period. Why would you go to the, near the person or bring the person or find a means for this person to get to you or for you to get to her, knowing damn well that this person just threatened? But we're talking about a fucking 13-year-old. 13-year-old. She wasn't even 14. Crazy part about it seems like he unalived her on her birthday. So she didn't even get to experience 14. All right. I get that Sloan thinks that, he was trying to make space for his new girlfriend. I don't think so. I think that she knew too much. Celeste Rivas knew too much about what he was doing. Tell me why does a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, my bad. Why does a 20-year-old have a phone full of child porn? You unalived this girl to keep a secret that still came out to the world anyways, is my point. This motherfucker should be behind bars. No ifs, no buts, and no ends. Point blank, period. I agree with y'all. That's a baby. Yep, he groomed her. That's exactly what he did. He groomed her ass. And now he wanna plead defense. He wanna say, oh, she was abusing me. How? You was mentally abusing her for fucking what? A few years already. The little girl started opening her eyes. You was playing around with fucking different women. You had kitty porn. And if I'm not mistaken, I think a couple months ago, didn't they say that there was more girls coming out saying that he was doing the same thing to them? So, I mean, I don't know if that's going to be brought up in this trial or what's going to happen. I don't even think there should be a trial. Man, y'all know how I feel over here. I got to pay my stream, y'all. I'll pay that shit next week, payday. But, man, fuck that. We got 5 free hours on this bitch and we going to talk about it, all right? Whether we, split this live into 2. But, like, that was a little fucking girl, man. He's sick, all right? Sick in the head. But that only leads you to know, that only tells you that probably something happened to him too when he was younger. Probably this was done to him. But he's a grown man, 20 years old. It's like, once you hit that, like, listen, either he's really a psychopath. I mean, I'm really starting to think that he's a fucking sexual psychopath. I don't know. Because it's like a phone full of kitty porn alone. Y'all should put this motherfucker behind bars. But this happened where? This happened, I think, in California, if I'm not mistaken. All right. And I think I heard a news reporter talking about, it wasn't on this video that we played earlier. If I'm not mistaken, there was a news reporter that said California is seeking the death penalty for this case. And I feel as though, like I said in the fucking beginning, any motherfucker that abuses or unalives a child, any crimes that has to do with a child, the motherfucker that commits it should be behind bars. All right. But y'all know how I feel, man. When it comes to fucking pedophiles and predators, man, we build caskets up in this bitch. I feel as though we should dig a fucking hole. Fuck 6 feet underground, man. We going fucking 10 feet underground. This motherfucker need to fucking meet his maker. Have a dance with fucking Lucifer.
Against David, and she decided the 3 charges against him would stick in court. So now we're going to a real trial with a real jury. But our friend Steve, the investigator, who I believe is a witness, shared this on X, and I wanted to read it to you guys. He says, David says his parents are in town and uses that as an excuse for not being able to see Celeste. Because remember, Celeste insisted that she wanted to go to David's when she died. I mean, she obviously didn't know what was going to be waiting for her. She calls him out for lying and says that they're arriving Thursday, which would have been the day after the prosecution alleges that David killed Celeste. I mean, that'd be pretty crazy if you just killed someone and then your parents are coming to town the next day. Celeste asks David again, explain why I can't see you before Singapore. David responds, because my parents are here and I want to have an in-person conversation. David goes on to say, why do I have to see you before Singapore? Then Celeste says she doesn't believe him. She says, proof of your parents being there. I don't trust you. Flight or something? David, please stop lying. He said they get here on Thursday, which is when you asked to see me. I'm busy tomorrow. And that would have been April 23rd, 2025. Celeste was adamant to see David, and it's unfortunate that that visit ended up with her dead. The exchange also indicates that his parents planned to stay at the house. Interesting. If there's any truth to them arriving just hours after Celeste was allegedly killed, then I have even more questions about who knew what when. I also find it difficult to believe that Celeste's body remained at the house for 12 days, which makes me wonder whether the Santa Barbara trip played a larger role than we currently understand.
So I have a question. If the parents were supposed to arrive the day after, right? Did they arrive? Did they ever make it to the house? Did they stay there? Did they ever notice something wrong? If they did, if they did arrive, what happened to the parents? Like, everybody keeps saying they were supposed. I mean, since the beginning, I keep hearing that, but nobody's ever specified if the parents ever arrived the next day. So I get his question, but I'm gonna be more, I'm gonna be more out there with it. Did the parents ever actually arrive? Or was David just making that bullshit up?
Too many people had access to that house and were coming and going for a body to be hidden for that long without others knowing. I really do believe that David's inner circle knew about Celeste's death and maybe even knew that there was a body inside. And you guys are going to have to watch this entire video to see some of the evidence I have against David's alleged former girlfriend, because
I say the same thing. It's alleged because the girl said she's not his girl, right? Celeste was jealous. You can tell from the text messages. All right, but here's my thing. All right, she's saying she didn't know nothing. But there's a Discord chat that got screenshot where she was texting somebody else. Was it a Discord chat or was it an actual text message? I don't know. I hope he has it all because he said he's got everything to, prove that she might be, a part of it, right? And I agree with him. Something's off with her. Why would she text somebody, right? When they told her that the 13-year-old girl that he was with, right, looked at like the 13-year-old girl. The girl that he was with, they didn't say 13. The girl that he was with, right, looked at like the 13-year-old girl that got reported missing. And she said, "Oh wow, that's my friend's girlfriend." But now she's all over social media. People have her recordings talking about. She's saying she never knew about Celeste. How you didn't know about Celeste? That's impossible. The text messages say otherwise.
I feel confident that she knew. Steve adds, I will say that I think David is likely lying about his parents coming into town early Friday to attend a pop-up in New York City and then traveled to Houston for another pop-up, although his parents may have come into town for the record release party. This person added that it was his first full debut album of his career, and that's a very big moment for him. It wouldn't be crazy if his parents were there, to be honest, since they would often be at his shows when they could, and even at some events before. We need to see David's family testify in trial because, I mean, look at this child. I cannot believe that David had this excuse that, oh, she lied to me about her age. I mean, looking at her, she was so young, 11 years old when they first started.
I'm so tired of hearing men say that. Like, how can you not tell when a little girl looks like, yo, oh my God, I'll turn into Griselda Blanco. Let a man tell me that he can't tell that my daughter was a little girl. Motherfucker, please. Look at that face. Look at that baby face. She lied to you about her age and you couldn't fucking tell? Oh, Lord, I'm tired of this fucking excuse. This is an excuse that I hear, from men all the way from 18 all the way up to their fucking 40s, 50s, and 60s. Oh, she lied about her age. I couldn't tell. You couldn't tell with the face? Oh, no. Blessings, Jackie. Hey, welcome to the live.
Having their statutory relationship. This person writes, ain't no way he believed that she was 16 when she looked like this at 11. Be for real. This mother effer really looked at the child who clearly looked 9 and said, yeah, she's 16. Like the delusion is crazy. Then kept dating her at 13 when he was 18 and now she's dead. David is actually deranged. No excuses left. We just had July 29th pass and that was the date that David abandoned Celeste's body in that Tesla. But when you look back to when he killed her, April 23rd, 2025, and I'm not even adding a legend to that because I truly believe that he did, you'll see that he did interviews and was doing press. I mean, he just did Coachella. So he was kind of at a peak in his career. And it's so interesting to see how casual he is about bragging about his music.
But didn't he just release a song or somebody released a song recently? All right. I mean, I think the song was named I Did It, if I'm not mistaken. I think I heard it on TikTok. If I'm not, I know I'm not tripping. But I swear that they just released a song and where it says that, the D4VD, I did it. Probably that's why a lot of people are saying that he confessed, that he pled guilty, but I don't think so. And I wonder if they're going to use this on the trial. Because it seems like throughout his whole album, he confessed to this damn, you know what? Oh my God. This is like the fucking devil reincarnated.
It involves graphic descriptions of disturbing crimes, harming women, and he's in this interview just like so proud of his work.
The first song I put in the montage, I didn't even credit myself, and I noticed people like the song. So
I know it's hard to listen to Kevin Ellis, but I gotta bring awareness. There's a lot of us, there's a lot of mothers out here, a lot of fathers. We need to talk about it, all right? Especially when it comes to our little girls. Like it's hard as shit. I'm tired of our little girls. So, listen. You know how many times my daughter comes and tells me, about her little friends, or she has a friend out there, and the father just lets her do whatever she wants, or the mother lets them do whatever she wants, and she comes and looks at me like, "Yo, mom, my friend, she's talking on the phone, and she's talking to this older." I was like, "Does the mother know?" She's like, "No." You want to tell? I was like, "I have to." She's like, "But she's gonna get in trouble." I was like, "I prefer for your friend to get in trouble than for your friend to get lost one day, for your friend to get taken one day, for your friend to get unalived one day." She's not supposed to be talking to no boys from Instagram, no boys in TikTok. You see where I'm coming from, that are, older than her. So it's like my daughter comes to me every day. She tells me everything, her day, what her friends and her talk about. I give her advice. You see where I'm coming from? Trying to lead her to, the right path, trying to show her what a real queen is really, made of. Because I don't want her to fall into that trap. So as a parent, right, even though it's hard to hear this stuff, these topics need to be talked about. Just hearing my daughter, tell me how her little 9-year-old friends, 8-year-old friends are already thinking about boys that are older. That right there is like, huh. And it's crazy because, I look at my daughter and I'm sitting here like, yo, she really is the purest version of me. And I be like, I asked her a few times, like, hey, you into any boys in your school or anybody? She be like, no. And trust me, listen, as fast as I gave her a phone is how fast I took it. Because when I gave her the phone, all she wanted to do was be on that phone with her friend all day, just chit chatting and gossiping and gossiping. You see where I'm coming from? She stopped watching her movies, her cartoons. She stopped drawing, and she's an artist. She could draw, like she really could draw. And when I started noticing her that all that, me and her dad talked, phone got taken away. As soon as the phone got taken away, she's back to doing everything. Now she's painting murals out there in her program. Like they're doing different things out there. And I love her joy right now. Like these phones take a piece of our children that don't need to be taken from them. I don't know if y'all understand where I'm coming from. I'm trying to watch what I say too. Because listen, like as parents, we gotta be detectives. I don't know, where her parents was this whole time. They're saying they tried, that she was hard headed. She was a kid that, was rebelling. But why was she rebelling so much like that? Because even if she didn't listen to one parent, she was bound to listen to the other. If the home wasn't abusive or nothing like that, or if the home wasn't neglectful, if the home, was there for the child, then the child would be there. Even if she felt some type of way with one parent, she was going to be there, talk to the other. But it's like she didn't really talk to neither, or did she? Or are the parents lying and they actually know? Were they really accepting money like people are saying, within, those people that they say are witnesses within this case? Are those witnesses lying? Because listen, when we first did a reaction to the D4VD case, right? I don't know how many people are here that actually did watch back then when I did it. But if y'all do remember, even if you watched another content creator review to the D4VD case, right? React to the D4VD case. I know y'all seen the video surface where he was paying off little kids, where the teacher actually called DHS or some shit like that to try to see what was going on with Celeste in her house and stuff like that, because there was a there's a lot going on. Like, oh, I'm from Philly. That's why I'm saying I'm trying to hold my tongue. Like, trust me, I ain't losing this channel, not this one. I worked hard to keep this one to where it's at. It's like this channel right here is really to bring awareness. Like the other channel, I'm about to start that vlogging channel, but this channel right here, I don't want to lose this channel because it's hard to build these type of channels up, yo. Like, listen, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Even though I say he belongs behind bars, if you've been watching me for a while, I feel as though this motherfucker belongs 10 feet underground, all right? somewhere in La La Land with Peter Pan. All right. Listen, the Undertaker got the shovel and Peter Pan is guarding my caskets. This motherfucker needs to have a dance with the devil. He does not deserve to breathe. That little girl is not here breathing. He belongs underground. And I know a lot of people is going to say, well, you know, you get justice behind bars. Listen, I get where a lot of people are coming from, but I don't see somebody sitting here and, you know, how can I say, get raping somebody, all right, just because they did it as justice. No, I'm looking at you sick too. I feel as though, like, oh my God, it sounds crazy, and a lot of people's gonna look at me like, no, 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 that for me don't work. I don't give a fuck. But he's gotta feel it. No, man, kill that motherfucker. For me, they don't deserve to breathe. All right. They don't deserve to breathe, but everybody's got their own, you know, opinion, their own way of thinking. I understand where a lot of people are coming from, but to me, it's sick to do the same thing to somebody else. All right, that you just lock. What's the point of locking them up if you're gonna do the same shit to him? Bury that motherfucker. Put him in a casket. He don't deserve to breathe.
Well, the next montage I did with you and I was like, first Fortnite artist to use his own song in a montage, and I put the SoundCloud link in the description for the first time. And I go on tour the next day. Everybody's using my song. I was like, yo, what? It might have been because it was royalty free. You could make money off your video if you use my song, but people actually liked it. I was getting positive comments like, yo, this is hard, this is fire. Keep going, keep going. You want more songs from David? I was like, okay. So I kept doing it. I kept doing it, and then it kind of just became this thing where the music was getting.
His parents, Duad, and his mother, Colleen, identify as really religious people. But there's something really off here. Clearly, he grew up in a strict household. He would wear a certain outfit. He would be told to change. And then it seemed like he kind of got off on making his mom disturbed. I mean, he played his song Romantic Homicide, where he got this reaction from his mother that he found exciting. He's like, hell yeah, I got a hit here.
When I used to get up and get dressed for school, in the morning I put on this cool fit. She would like, take that off, put on a suit or something like that. You know, I knew it was cool if she hated it. I played it for her in the car. And she was like, David, this song is too violent. You talking about killing people in your music? No, not my son. And I was like, wait, I might be onto something. So I dropped it right after that. And it went crazy.
I don't think his mom probably knew about Celeste, or if she probably knew about Celeste, he probably lied about her age, and Celeste probably did lie to his mom about his age. But I don't think Celeste lied to him about her age. I think he knew about her age. Reason why? Because I mean, listen, they've thrown all the conversations out there from this score from the age of 11 to now. He knew this little girl's age. But the mom, I don't know, something is off. But it's like I can't pinpoint what it is with the mom. His, not Celeste's mom, his.
TikTok viral, 1 million views overnight. I was like, oh yeah, we cooking, boy.
I mean, for a kid that was homeschooled with a really heavy religious background, it kind of seems like he's had this sneaky side all along and really just been wanting to rebel.
4 years. So yeah, man, Romantic Homicide was just like, I wanted to feel what the other kids were feeling. Like everybody I knew, well, in middle school that I didn't talk to anymore, everybody had relationships. I didn't have a relationship. I wanted to do that.
This person writes, I don't know where to find the video, but I saw a clip of where he's talking about his phone was in China and being dismembered. Who says dismembered about taking apart a phone? There is a phone of his that is missing that they were able to recover the data from the iCloud.
My phone got stolen. This is the anti-theft lock screen. Yeah, I checked my location on my other phone this morning. It's in China right now getting dismembered. So tragic. I'm David. This is what's in my phone with Complex.
This man needs the death penalty by firing squad. No needle. He should just go out the easy way. He should feel every bullet hit his body, and it should be all neck and under, so no headshot. So he feels every ounce of blood come out of it.
Oh, you ain't lying. They need to start with his fucking eggplant first, in between the legs, all right? Bullseye. I didn't mean to pause you like that. That's a weird look on you right now, but let's play.
I mean, yes, I want him to like suffer and pay for his crime, but that is, you guys have a vivid imagination. The way that he just sat there and talked like nothing happened is beyond disturbing. Zero remorse. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, if any of you watching, if you committed a crime like this, I would assume it would eat you alive. The guy seemed like he was thriving. I saw this interesting update. The family lawyer for Celeste's people just did an interview with TMZ saying that his mother is seeking out a new entertainment lawyer. That is true. We learned that in court. And that his publishing is still intact and they plan to continue pursuing his music career. Wait. So David's going to be making music in prison? It kind of.
This shit is wild, and that's what I'm saying. Like, just a few days ago on TikTok, somebody was talking, and they played the song on TikTok. This motherfucker, while he was in jail, a song got released. 2 songs, actually. One of them is called I Did It. Oh my God. Let me see if I can find it. D4VD, wait, what? D4VD song, no, motherfucker. D4VD song, I Did It. Yep, see, somebody did. Somebody leaked it. D4VD's Apple Music profile, they saying that it got hacked. Bullshit, that did not get hacked. Leading to the unauthorized release of an old demo song titled I Did It that gained attention on social media. This incident, which featured a track often called Celeste, occurred amidst other ongoing controversies regarding the artist. Like, come on, man, he made a whole song on how he unalived this little girl. Y'all put away rappers that y'all don't even know if the lyrics are true in jail for singing about unaliving, and you're telling me that y'all can't lock this motherfucker up for making a full confession on a 12-song album, on 2 fucking different albums, I think it was. I don't know how the fuck it goes, but he had a whole album dedicated on how he unalived this girl. Get the fuck out my face.
It sounds like he's going to be making music in prison and his mom's going to help him. I can't say she's delusional. This person writes, we reward men who harm women. I mean, I think this is sick. Kind of reminds me of the dude, is it Tory Lanez, who's currently in prison because he shot Meg the Stallion?
I don't think Tory Lanez actually shot Meg the Stallion, but let's continue. I don't know. I feel like in this case, I don't think Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion. But I get it. I get why everybody keep talking about it.
In the foot. He put out a new album that he filmed, recorded behind bars. So it is possible. I just think that's really so disrespectful. This person writes, mother wants the money to continue to flow. Hopefully Celeste's family will go after that in a civil trial and try to take every dime. I would hope so too, because I do believe that the family should. Yeah, I don't think David should keep the money, so I guess give it to Celeste's family, even though some people would label them as neglectful. I do think that they deserve it way more than he does. The problem is that David has been shuffling around his assets. Well, he hasn't. He's behind bars, but his mother and his accountant.
I get where he's coming from. I love his perspective. I respect it. In my opinion, Celeste's parents should be locked up. No ifs, no buts, and no ands. Why? Because if they wouldn't have signed these permission slips for her to go with him, he wouldn't have had access to her. But they gave him access to their daughter by signing them contracts, them papers. They should have never did that. Me as a parent, I would never let my daughter go out of the country with no fucking stranger, especially somebody she met online.
Benjamin Gregor, I saw him testify in court. He has been working with Colleen to move all of David's houses and properties and money into an account where it's in Colleen's name, so they can't sue David for everything that he has because it's all been moved to Colleen's account. And if that's not true evil, I don't know what is. Is she planning on releasing his unreleased songs or something? This person asks. He does have like thousands of them. I wouldn't be surprised. This person writes that her family knew that she was involved with him and allowed it. They want to pretend to care. I mean, they were in court. They seemed really sad, in my opinion. I think that like David's family is also at fault. They were fully aware that she was a minor. We do have some new information because there is a world, I don't know if it's in this galaxy, but a world where David may not go to trial because he may offer a plea deal, like a plea offer, I guess, because a plea deal, I assume, is offered by the court system. This would be David's attorneys trying to offer a plea. Now, keep in mind, there's no sign that they are doing this. I do think.
Wait, do defense attorneys offer plea deals? So how the fuck is that going to happen? It says no, defense attorneys do not technically offer plea deals. Instead, prosecutors propose them, and defense attorneys negotiate, evaluate, and present them to their clients. That's not gonna work. That's why I'm over here thinking like, wait, what? A defense attorney is offering a plea deal? I thought it was the other way around. Yeah, because the prosecutor offers the deal. The government lawyer prosecutor holds the charge authority and decides if they are willing to reduce charges, drop counts, or recommend a lighter sentence in exchange for a guilty plea. Then the defense attorney negotiates. The lawyer fights to improve the term by pointing out weakness in the state's evidence or highlighting your personal background. Client decides. All right. The defense attorney explains the pros and the cons, but the final choice to accept or reject an offer belongs entirely to the defendant. So how the fuck is the defense attorney going to even offer any? I'm confused again. I mean, I'm not really confused when it comes to the laws, but the way Sloan, baby, the defense cannot offer a plea. They cannot do that. Now, the DA could offer that plea deal.
Think that they're going to try to fight this and shift the blame onto Celeste. District Attorney Nathan says the doors remain open for the defense to make a plea offer, but only if it deserves justice for the victim's family. So I don't know what that would be. Maybe life in prison with a nice payday for Celeste's family.
You would work out some sort of plea deal with David to avoid any of this. And look, I have to call it out. The death penalty hasn't been announced yet.
So you're correct. Because it's a first-degree murder with special circumstances case here in California,
what are the fucking special circumstances? And I apologize for my French, all right, guys? But these motherfuckers is pissing me off, all right? When are y'all going to give this little girl justice and put this monster behind bars? And y'all give him the justice that y'all so-called say he deserves behind bars. I feel as though, like Sloan says, death penalty. Bring that shit out.
The punishment can either be life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. Whether or not David wants to come forward with some offer, David and his counsel are always free to make an offer.
But I do hope there's a world where there isn't a plea offer, because I do believe that he deserves to be punished. I don't think that this is an opportunity for him to flex his wealth, give the family a gift, like a payment for Celeste, and then get a lighter sentence at a celebrity prison. I just don't think that that's fair either. Let's speak about Asia Collins. You guys know Asia was very close with David. She was actually on his tour before it was canceled because it was uncovered that he killed someone. She posted this on June 9th, 2025. Tell her about me. I wonder who she's talking about. Are we talking about Celeste here? Asia was aware of Celeste's age and even...
And this is what I was talking about earlier, and I'm glad he's showing it on here. All right, I'm really glad that he's showing it here. Asia knew about it. Like, I know I'm not tripping. I'm hoping that y'all can see the text messages. It's probably a little blurry. I do apologize for that. But on this John, he's going to read it. On this John, the chick says, yo, she said, is there a way you can confirm she's 13? So she was asking the person that was telling her.
knew that she was a missing person. Somebody shared a flyer about Celeste on their story, and Asia replied to them, writing, "Bro, this is my friend's girlfriend." They responded saying, "Can you confirm? Because she's only 13. Then Asia writes back, "What the F? You're lying." So she obviously knew Celeste's age back in February 2024. That's when she replied to this story. So from that point on, she knew that David and Celeste were involved. And this was before Celeste was killed. Celeste was killed in April 2025. So Asia, in my opinion, is an accomplice here. There is a snippet of
facts. That right there. Everything that they text goes against what they said on these lives, on these videos. They're lying straight up.
An interview. It's a very low quality clip and it's low volume. I'm going to try to increase the volume as much as I can, but you can hear Asia say in this clip that she did confront David about Celeste's age and he gave her proof. What proof? She won't tell us what the proof is, but she claims that she got proof. Something's really sketchy here.
I was like, no, show me proof. And no, like, I can't like explain to you guys what he showed me.
So Asia's all excited to tell us that she's seen evidence that Celeste was an adult, but she won't tell us what she saw.
What? Did they have fake IDs, fake paperwork? So did Celeste's parents agree for that too? Did they know what they were signing when they signed them contracts to let her go on tour with D4VD? Man, this is what makes this, and that's why I said this story gets deeper and deeper.
Is that her trying to excuse the fact that she knew that Celeste was a minor since February 2024. But of course, she didn't want to go and call out David for this. Why? Because she benefited from their relationship, going on these Twitch live streams, going to these parties, hanging out with them. I mean, she was streaming with her friends at David's home, and there was a really interesting conversation that was picked up from the bathroom. It was in the kitchen. I don't know if they realized that these girls were streaming or what, but it seems like
no, Sloan, I did a live on that. I know what conversation you're about to bring up, and it was about the stench in the house, how they were, cleaning up, doing some shit. And it kind of seemed like, listen, I feel as though everybody knew about what happened. They helped him. There's a reason, listen. There's a reason that when, the police was looking at the GPS on the phones and stuff like that, around the time that, she was supposed to have been dropped off and stuff like that, why was his GPS, her phone, being located at the same time? Why were they, synced at the same time? Why were they in the same locations at the same time? When he was supposed to be in the house, she was supposed to have gotten dropped off, but yet the car seems like it was driving off. The phone, his phone and Celeste's phone were together. I'm like, y'all don't have enough evidence? Oh, we can't link the murder weapon. Fuck the murder weapon with all this evidence you got? You know what? I'm done. Like, I keep trying to say it. But this shit, when it comes to the justice system, unless we united, there can't be really, changes done. All right, we standing on top of a fucking broken foundation, a foundation that, still how can I say, that still feeds off the 17th century.
there were a lot of people who knew about this crime, from my opinion. I mean, if you look, there was a piece of evidence. It was, I think the seventh piece of evidence, which was a plastic bag found in the garage. There was a bunch of wipes with like blood dried onto it. And on this bag in particular, there were 4 different DNA sets. One was David's, and then one, we don't know who it was, another male. And then we've got 2 different female DNAs on it. Well, if you look at these video clips, it kind of sounds like we have the group right here. Did they have a little cleaning up party for David?
Why hasn't the court tested them for DNA? Are these are they really looking at this case the right way? Why does it take the internet in this era to actually solve these type of cases?
It's kind of giving Harley Quinn. Okay. Aw, cute. I like it. And then, wait, what is this? Stickers. Okay. Aw, cute.
minute. I gotta read this. Hold on.
Dried
closed
onto it,
caption.
and on this bag in particular, there were 4 different DNA sets. One was David's, and then one, we don't know who it was, another male, and then we've got 2 different female DNAs on it. Well, if you look at these video clips, it kind of sounds like we have the group right here. Did they have a little cleaning up party for David?
It's kind of giving.
Witness number 1 says, tell me more about Celeste.
Harley Quinn.
Witness number 3, oh shit, oh. No, oh shit,
Okay.
Aw, cute.
Witness 1, yeah. You killed her? Yo, what the fuck? This video on the closed caption is better than the video that I reacted to when it first came out. Witness 2, yeah, me and David. So who is the girl? Who are the 3 people talking in the background? David, and who's the other guy and the other girl? From these 2 over here, I think I know who the other 2 are. This video is more clearer than the video that first surfaced when we reacted to it. Shit. Oh, don't worry. I'm going to upload them so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
I like it. And then, wait, what is this? Sugars?
Stalkers.
It says who? They're all in that bathroom. Wait, what did I miss? It says, yeah, me and David.
Sugars?
Stalkers.
Oh, wait, but you see, he's mumbling. You can't really hear what David is saying. Then somebody asked who? They're all in that bathroom? Nobody. Look at me. That's what David said. Or witnesses. They're saying witnesses. You already crossed her, bro. He already crossed her. See, this is a confession. Yeah, especially there. Witness 1. Oh, got it.
Doesn't know.
Bro. What does she look like? I'm very close to her. Witness 2. Just give him a second. They was there to help her. They was there to help him clean the crime. And this was on Twitch.
Where's the body glitter?
We go to the USA now.
Where's the body glitter from Claire's?
Bro, body glitter.
Witness 1. You are his unintangible. And you don't know what she looked like? I don't know. I didn't know. You can describe her. Witness 1. Someone describe her.
Okay, clear glitter or
Okay, chat. I'm gonna show you guys my.
You guys remember how I brought up the
Yo, that is crazy. So everybody, while they was doing a Twitch, trying to do their makeup, pretending like, they was engaging with their audience, in the background, they was having a whole full confession on how they unalived Celeste. And that's not enough evidence to put this man behind. You know what?
fact that Steve, the investigator, was like, wait. How could they have left Celeste's body in the house for 12 days? There were a lot of people in and out. They were doing a lot of things. So, like, between that 12 days, did people know the body was there? Did they not detect the body was there? Well, there's an interesting clip that I came across where they're talking about the foul odor inside of David's home. He's trying to explain it away, saying that he went to the restroom, but I don't think decomposition smells like that.
Oh, yeah, that's the way my bathroom smelled. I took a shit there like 2 hours ago.
I don't care. I just took a shit there.
Type shit. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I had to go.
If you're debating on whether Asia is a good person, whether she was an enabler, maybe she was completely naive and unaware, I've got a few more clips that I'd like for you to see. Like this one, for example, where she is with this guy on a Twitch stream, and she makes a comment talking about essentially like hitting on a minor. Speaking about a minor, talking about getting rid of the evidence by killing the minor, it's just really fascinating that she's making these jokes about like a crime that her, her kind of romantic friend was involved in. They love to say that they weren't dating, but there was definitely something romantic going on. I mean, like, what do you mean he was like taking you on tour, like along on tour? You guys were making these funny videos, like dancing with each other. I mean, that is why Celeste was upset from the beginning. But listen very closely to what Asia says in this next clip.
Oh shit.
I'm good. That's someone said that. Someone said that.
Damn, bro.
But we gotta be low key about it.
I'm just hoping, like, we're at an arcade. I hope I don't get a minor's number, bro. Like, not.
You gotta ask the age first.
No.
Whoa, damn. That's crazy. So y'all, just in case y'all missed it, I want y'all to hear it.
Listen very closely to what Asia says in this next clip.
Oh shit.
I'm good. That's someone said that. Someone said that.
Damn, bro.
But we gotta be low key about it.
I'm just hoping, like, we're at an arcade. I hope I don't get a minor's number, bro. Like, not.
You gotta ask the age first.
No, you never ask the age.
She said never ask the age, but she hopes you don't accidentally get a minor killed. How you gonna accidentally get a minor killed? Like, is you like, is you already thinking about it? What minor are you trying to get killed? Or was you talking about Celeste around this time?
You always just gotta, you
gamble. We gotta
find
gamble
out later after you hook up with them.
After,
yeah,
you just gotta gamble your life.
No, it's not gambling nothing, you know. If they snitch, you know, you just.
Well, it is. Why would
This person rates wouldn't surprise me, but damn, this video is so awkward and odd. You can tell that he was hella uncomfortable with what she was saying. She's joking about hooking up with minors and killing them so they don't snitch. Literally anyone would be extremely uncomfortable. She almost certainly knew about Celeste, almost certainly knew that she was... What do you mean? We know that she knew about Celeste because she replied on Instagram in February 2024 saying, "That's my friend's girlfriend." She definitely knew about Celeste. And almost...
So why is she not getting charges? Because she's a girl? They don't think that she was capable? What? Women are capable of murder too, especially out of jealousy. She should be behind bars. The Chinese boy, I think, snitched. He's locked up too. That other girl should be fucking locked up too, because they was all together.
certainly knew that Celeste hated her, so getting close to David's dumbass. If she didn't know that part, she certainly knows now, since Celeste explicitly texted David that she doesn't like Asia and she threatened to end his career if he kept talking to Asia. Asia didn't kill Celeste, but she's a big part of the reason why Celeste died, and I hope that weighs on her. If my friend was messing around with a minor, they wouldn't be my friend, and I would never defend them ever, especially after the minor ended up dead in my friend's trunk. Asia isn't the worst person involved in this, but she's reprehensible, and I hope that her role in this weighs on her. This is the weirdest conversation ever. She said she's concerned about accidentally flirting with a minor, then jokes about only asking their age once you break up, says you kill and hide the kid as evidence, then straight silence. Sorry, I know I didn't need to repeat everything that just happened in the video, but I couldn't process the way that she reacted in the end is so... It almost seems like Asia is getting off on this situation the same way David did, making these music videos and these songs that were dedicated to Celeste. Like, what is wrong with this girl? I mean, I know that Asia wants to be an actress or an influencer, but really, you're that desperate?
Hey, what's up? Would you be down to be in some content with me? Sure, yeah, I could be down. What would we be doing? Oh, I'm going to exploit you, sexualize you. Oh, and you on stream. Wait, what? Oh, my bad. I meant we're gonna go on like a date on stream. I don't really know if. Oh, and I have a girlfriend, by the way, like a secret one, but don't mind her. Then why not make content with her? It's just content. It's not like my girl like cares or anything. Like, sure, she might spam call me because she feels like I'm cheating on her, but like she understands because it's work. Right.
I mean, that's a weird video. Just spell.
I mean, she was trying to do a skit. Yeah, I get you, but I wouldn't use that video. I get you though. But let me be real for a second, right? Crimes against children, I don't play about that, right? I don't care who you are, how famous you are, how talented you are, how many streams you got, how many fans you got crying in your comments. When you harm a child, you're not a, how can I say, troubled artist. You're not misunderstood. You're not going through something. You're a monster, period. And the people defending him, oh baby. In my eyes, they're no different. Because what are you defending? What exactly are you trying to justify? Why do people defend predators like it's a, personality trait? And let's not act like, the motive wasn't clear as day. Financial gain, control, fear of being exposed is all sitting right there in the open. She was a child. He was a grown man. He knew better. He knew the power he had. He knew what he was doing. And what's crazy is when she threatened to expose the truth, suddenly she's gone. Suddenly the story shifts. Suddenly everything is complicated, baby. It's not complicated. It's calculated. Why do predators always panic when the truth is about to come out? Real shit.
Let out for us, why don't you? This person writes, I mean, it's an oddly specific thing for her to say. So many weird coincidences in this case. Holy crap, she needs to take the stand because this is a confession. I hope they make her take the stand. Asia is sus and guilty as hell. And I hope I do see her in court. I mean, I've asked her to come onto the channel. She probably doesn't like me because I probably don't seem very nice. But there's a don't care. I don't care. I'm just out here trying to figure out the truth. And she's lied to us multiple times. Like I can pull up every single lie because I've made videos about all of them. And there's probably more that I'm going to uncover. So if she ever wants to directly talk to me, I'm not a BS person. I never have been, never will be. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment below for the algorithm because you guys know the algorithm. I don't know how I feel about it right now. I'm mid on it. We're okay. But the comments do help. And I love to hear from you guys. And I love to see especially when you comment, there's little pictures on the side for the little avatar, like, what is it called? Profile pictures. And I love to see all your guys' different faces. So chime in below and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.
This is wild. Oh. All right. So we got 2 more videos, all right, to do. And I think we're going to do a part 2 to that. So I'm going to schedule the live for 2 p.m. today. Because I got to get myself together in a little bit. So I'm going to take a little break from this. Trust me, listen, I just got done working at 12. Listen, I fell asleep. Then I got up and did this live. Like, I took a little 2-hour nap. I'm about to fall back real quick, get back. So I'm going to schedule this live. And we're going to go down. We're going to review to the horrific autopsy photos. All right, stun court. And the horrific autopsy photos that stun court and D4VD murder hearing. Then we're going to go right down because this is a 4-hour live, right? So we definitely know we're doing a part 3. But I want to get into the horrific autopsy from Law and Crime. And then I want to go, dive down the rabbit hole news. All right. She got the exclusive D4VD, Anthony Burke, and Celeste Rivas Hernandez preliminary trial. All right, she's got the hearing. She's got, I think, a lawyer with her, if I'm not mistaken. So we definitely diving down that rabbit hole. So stay tuned. All right, I hope to see y'all this afternoon. This afternoon, and we catch up with the other 2 parts. All right, and I'm gonna be a little more prepared. All right, I just didn't want to leave y'all flat, especially to my regular subscribers. I had this John scheduled for 11:30, but like I told y'all, I ain't finished work until 12. All right, then I passed out, took a little nap. Got up, answer was live, checked out answer, then did my live. So now y'all know a little bit about the D4VD case, all right? Y'all have seen a lot of the previous clips through this video. Shout out to Sloan for putting this out there, all right? For breaking it down and everything. I think the only thing I really disagree with on Sloan on this is that, he feels like the parents didn't know. I feel as though if both of them didn't know, one or the other knew. So let us surely know what y'all think. All right, leave y'all comments down below. All right, let's get this conversation started, and let's talk about it. What do y'all think? How do y'all feel about the situation? Do y'all think D4VD should be free? Do y'all think that D4VD should be behind bars forever? What do y'all feel as though we should bring, the death penalty out when it comes to this case? So with that being said, till next time, y'all. This y'all shorty Rachel. I hope all of y'all have a blessed and humble night and continue to have a blessed and humble morning.